Welcome to CowRC Cow Tech. This is episode number 5. I can't believe we have gotten this high and this quick, man. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Adam Ross. And to my virtual left, we got Tyler Slane, fresh off the Beat the Creek.
That's right.
At my local race. So
Coming
what's
in
going
hot.
on again?
Hey, I'm doing good. Yeah, I just had a nice 2-day event in Kentucky, which is not too far away from me. So it's a great event. It's probably my 4th time going there, which is Beat the Creek. And unfortunately, today got half rained out. So I booked out of there a little early so I can get back here and prepare for the show. So not all so bad, but it left a lot of opportunities for muddy trucks to get clean with CowRC products.
It's funny because we must be in the same hemisphere because my event kind of got rained out as well. And by the looks of my truck, it's going to need a lot of love. Lee, what's going on? CJ, welcome to the show. So, as you guys know, we are going to be talking about the parts and chassis wash. Now, Tyler actually has the official intro to the Moo-Kleen, and it is one of my favorite ones. Raymond, what is going on? So if you want to jump into it and kind of just go over the history and kind of like why it is the best cleaning product on the market, hands down.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, we've talked about how, not all cleaning products are alike, and CowRC develops cleaning products that are RC specific. And so there are auto part type of cleaning products that are very similar kind of to, you will see them, people using them in a similar fashion to the part and chassis wash, but they are not the same because they're for full-blown automobiles. And so nothing's wrong with those type of products to use on automobiles, but they're too harsh for our little RC cars. So that's why CowRC developed the part and chassis wash, because Moo-Kleen Part and Chassis wash, because it's a pH balanced, non-corrosive type of formula. So that way it's not drying out your plastics. It's not taking out the oils of your tires and parts. So it's washing your vehicle while keeping all of those oils and greases contained and intact, so that way you're not kind of redoing the process yourself. So everyone kind of does it differently. I do it maybe a little bit differently than some people, and we'll kind of go through the different ways to do it. There's some don'ts, but there's more do's than anything.
Yeah, and one of the things that he touched on was not pulling out any of the unnecessary lubricants. That is huge, especially if you're into any type of racing like myself. And I actually use it in my tire washing station, and it comes out sticky icky. And unfortunately, I am running a little behind as always. And if you want to see some down and dirty stuff,
Nice.
Look at that. It is ready for some CowRC love. I am actually going to follow Tyler's instructions today, and I am going to mix me up my first batch with the concentrate. Since we had some rough weather this weekend, I actually allowed everybody to come over and use the power of the Moo to help power them through the mud today.
Awesome.
And it actually was super cool to be able to help out. Yeah, both of us getting rained out and a little muddy. Beat the Creek and Sparks season opener.
Yep. And so the one thing we want to talk about, since we are talking about the Moo-Kleen Part and Chassis wash concentrate formula, is that we are giving away one 32-ounce concentrate formula to the person with the best question or comment during today's episode. So again, throw out all your comments. I mean, this product has been out for a long time, not necessarily in its concentrate form. We used to sell in the premix form. So this product should have plenty of good stories to tell, and maybe do's and don'ts and what you've learned over your life in RC. So we want to hear that, and the best person gets a free 32-ounce bottle. It's a $50 value, $49.99 for a 32-ounce concentrate. So amazing.
That is A great segue, but CJ, I will definitely talk about how I use it. I haven't used the concentrate yet, so I'm dying to try it. But I did see probably the best tip for the tire washing station, and I will bring that up for sure. Sally, welcome to the show. What is your favorite part about your Kentucky weekend? That is a great question.
I would say seeing my friends and visiting the vendors. That's always my favorite. Just socializing has become like half of my RC events. Driving is one half, socializing is the other half. So I really enjoy that.
So, hey, John H. Rogers Jr. Jeez Louise, he is the lucky guy. We're at 26, but he
Oh,
was number 25
geez.
already tonight, right out of the gate. We got to thank you guys. Tyler, what does the 25th person get?
Well, that happened. That escalated pretty quickly. So,
Really quick.
we're doing a kind of a spontaneous handout gift award to certain periodic viewing accounts. So,
Milestones. Yeah.
25. Our goal was 25 viewers, and Josh, you get a $25 gift
John,
certificate to CowRC. So we will reach out to you after the show and get you a gift code. But congratulations, and we're gonna keep doing this, sporadically. You never know what magic number is out there that we're gonna hit. We're gonna keep, our goal is to keep raising the bar, and I think we're on that way. So it's all about you guys. So if you're interested in what we're saying, we're gonna give you more of it.
yes, and don't forget, the night is still young. We're only 7 minutes in, already at over 26
Pretty
people. We
amazing.
appreciate it. But the thing is, the question is going to be key for tonight. We are still giving away the concentrate parts and chassis wash, and that is going to be wicked. What does the parts and chassis wash do for you? It saves you on shipping. It gives you more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
There's so many good things about the new concentrate. I'm excited to share it with you guys.
Yeah, so that's a great segue, Adam. So, I wanted to kind of show a little bit of a history on the Moo-Kleen Part and Chassis Wash, because I talked about it being out in its original form for a long time. So, with shipping rates increasing, CowRC decided to do something different. So, what I have in front of us is the premix. So, this is an 8-ounce bottle. We do sell this, but if you remember, almost probably 8 months ago, we stopped selling the 1-gallon jugs and I think the 2-liter spray bottles. And the reason those were all pre-mixed. And the reason we stopped selling those is because shipping just got so expensive. It was very expensive to ship those heavy 1-gallon bottles of pre-mixed Moo-Kleen Part and Chassis Wash. And so what CowRC decided to do is come up with the concentrate. So there's two different sizes. There's a 32 ounce, which is right here, and a 16 ounce. The 16 ounce is $29.99, and the 32 ounce is $49.99. So you have two different sizes depending on what your budget is. And again, we have these premixes an 8 ounce as well for sale. But that's where this concentrate formula came about. That's how it was invented, was the necessity to save customers money on shipping, is pure and simple. So we're here to show you, so there's a little bit to that, and you kind of have to go into the science of, and it's not as difficult as I make it sound, go into the science of how you make it. And the nice part about it is you get to make it how you like it. So, say you're a person who's got a truck or a race car full of mud and you need a little bit of extra juice to get that off. You can mix this at a higher ratio so it's stronger. And if you're just somebody who wants to, make it last as long as you want. I mean, I've got, a truck here. Luckily, I didn't get in the mud today, but it's just got some dusty tires. Nothing big. You don't need massive amounts of Moo-Kleen power to get that off. You can do a light spritz. So what I've seen some people do is they'll have maybe two different sprayers, and we'll kind of get into this. Two different sprayers or two different concoctions, and you break out whichever one you need at that point in time.
Well, I know after today's race out at Spark, I'm going to need the full power of the Moo, and I'm going to actually pre-mix my first batch with Tyler's help live on the show. And
Okay.
you know what? we can test it right over there as soon as he's done to make sure he's doing good. But one
Cool.
thing, John was asking how many in a case. John, it depends on if you want to ship it to Canada or the United States. But with this concentrate, the smaller 16 actually makes over a gallon, depending on the consistency and strength that you want to use. Now, it'll make 2.5 gallons with just the small 16 ounce, which is this little guy right here. It'll make 2.5 gallons if you make it the regular strength. Now, if you want to go big and you got lots of cleaning, since I know your son races with you as well, this is the puppy right here. So this is 32 ounces of goodness, right, in a bottle. And the shipping that you save on getting the smaller package compared to how big it was before is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, at the regular setup, and I think Tyler put it in the notes and I read it and I don't know off by heart, I think it's 5. Is it double? I think it's 5.
Yeah, it's up to 5 gallons. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
2 to 5 gallons it'll make.
Perfect. I see Tyler is pro at the notes. So I'm just like, love using this stuff. I'm appreciative of how easy it makes it, because when my kids are racing, trying to get them ready for the next round, boy, this helps out big time.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, so today's show is based on how do we get you, if you haven't gone down the road of the concentrate formula, we're going to explain what I'm doing here for a setup of a certain type of concentrate, a certain ratio, which is an 8-to-1 ratio. 8-to-1 water, 8 parts water, 1 part, well, it's actually 7 parts water, 1 part concentrate. So what we're going to do here is, this is a spray bottle. You can buy these at almost anywhere. So I got this spray bottle off of Amazon. It's about, I think this one's about $14. I actually went to Home Depot the other day and found, I think it's HDX is the brand, and it was like $8.97. And so what I look for is a 55 ounce to 56 ounce sprayer. And, you want to make sure it has this measuring level on the side, because it's all about the math on this, which really isn't overwhelming, but it's all part of this part. So mine is a 55 ounce. I'm rounding up to 56 because 7 goes into 56 8 times. So we're going to make this a little bit easier. So when you have your sprayer and you have your concentrate, you want a way to measure your concentrate. So this is just a solo cup. And so the reason I use this is because I don't want to use my cooking utensils to put chemicals in. I don't want to go down that road. So what I do is I take a solo cup and I write 7 ounces on it. So what I do is I pour 7 ounces of liquid into this. And the reason I know this is 7 ounces is, I went one step, is I do take a home measuring cup and I put 7 ounces of water in that measuring cup. And I pour that water into this solo cup. And what I do is hold up to the light, see where the level is, and I take a Sharpie and write it on there. And I write 7 ounces on there, so that way I know what ratio I'm working with. So that's how you get started. And then I keep this cup. I don't throw this away. I keep it, for future uses. So see Adam's starting off with the 7 ounces.
Okay, so 7 ounces.
So 7 ounces. And so, and what you're doing there, Adam, is your 7 ounces is to understand where that level is. So you're going to end up throwing that water you poured in that cup out, because all you're doing is measuring on your cup where the level of the concentrate will go in.
Okay.
So hold that up, measure that.
Okay. So I'm just drawing a line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good thing I don't throw out these cups anyways.
That's right. And actually, you could instead of wasting, you could pour it in your sprayer, because you're going to need to put water in anyway.
Okay.
So that way it's easy for you to dump it.
Sweet. This is awesome, getting help for my first batch, because we used all what was left in my reserves for me and the kids, keeping us clean in between rounds today out at Spark. So
It's the
definitely
mad
speak up to you.
scientist concoction here.
Yeah,
So now what you're going to do is you got your line on the solo cup, take your
I do now.
concentrate and fill
Okay.
that cup up to the 7,
Okay.
to the line. And Adam's using the same sprayer I have. So his, this sprayer says 55 ounces. We're just rounding it up to 56 to make life easier. So we're at an 8-to-1. So this ratio is on the lighter side of the 32 ounce. So this, if you keep going down this ratio, you'll make about 4.5 gallons of the 32 ounce. If you buy, you're going to fill up for roughly 4.5 to 5 of these containers, which
This
for
actually
$50,
smells good, concentrated,
Yeah,
actually.
it does.
Holy cow. All right.
Do you ever remember like when you were a kid that had Ecto Cooler drink? Did you ever
Yes.
have that? That's what it reminds me of. I loved that drink, that juice box thing.
It
So yeah,
actually turned my cup green.
yep. Yeah, it's amazing how much like more solid it is because it's it's concentrated. It kind of takes you back. So
No
yeah,
kidding.
so Adam he filled his cup up with the concentrate, poured it into the sprayer, and
We are
the
good.
next step, which is your second to last step, is you're just going to fill that sprayer up to 55 or 56 ounces.
56 ounces. Here we
Yeah.
go.
So you see, like,
As long as I don't hit my keyboard, that's the important thing.
right.
We might end the show real quick. So you said 56, correct?
Yep. Yours will have the 55 line, but 1 ounce isn't a big deal unless you want to go a hair above it.
That's all I did. I actually went up to the bottom of the OZ.
Perfect. Yep. And then last thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put the top on and shake it, and you're good.
We need the scratch and sniff, man. This actually smells really good. I'm surprised
Well,
at
that's the
how well.
awesome thing. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I'd say all the CowRC products, they smell good. They're not chemically smell. They smell really good.
Yeah, so fresh and so clean. So this has gotten me almost 2 liters of CowRC goodness here.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And so, like, when you do this ratio, if you got the 16 ounce container, you'll get about 2.25 gallons of material or of product if you use this 7 ounce ratio, which is an 8-to-1 ratio.
Mike, it was smelling so good. I almost did it.
It'll be an interesting show after that.
Yeah. Why is Adam as green as his banner back there? I don't know. So okay, so the sprayer itself, you're just pumping, pull the trigger, good to go.
And honestly, that's actually the kind of the cool thing about this. And so, teaser alert. CowRC is actually testing some battery operated sprayers just for this purpose. So, CowRC does not currently sell sprayers. We are testing some neat stuff right now that's going to give everybody an option. And oh, there it is. It has been leaked.
It looks pretty fancy.
So that is battery operated. So it's a rechargeable. You see the cord there. It's a rechargeable battery. You see the port there. You put your part chassis wash right into that, and away you go. Looks like it's got a little bit of an extension nozzle there with an adjuster. And the cool thing I think with it being in a sprayer is it just gives it the extra pressure. So it's almost like you're using like a one of those outdoor bug sprayers, that you or a grass fertilizer where you connect a hose to it and it's got the chemical in it and it kind of mixes it as the hose water is going through it. It's kind of like this, so it gives you some pressure. So I like it for tires. We've got deep knobby tires for off-road stuff, and it just jets out all that gunk in there. So it's kind of like I'll call it like an indirect perk to be able to do that. And so, and you can get as fancy. I'm sure there's way fancier, way more expensive ones than this. Like I said, this one's from Amazon. It was around $14, something like that.
Yeah.
I've been using it for quite a few months and like it. Like I said, there's the ones at HDX, I think at that Home Depot's brand, it's like under $9. So I don't know how those are, but give it a shot. I think those will work well.
It is definitely super cool. I can't wait to try it later tonight because I got a lot of work to do. You can't, well, at least in the Ross Racing Pits, we don't like to put our vehicles away dirty. I want to make
I
sure it's all
agree.
nice and clean as we pack them away. But
Yeah.
pretty cool. How
So
long do you think until the CowR spray becomes a product to buy? That is
the
a great
sprayer.
question.
Good question. I don't know we have an answer for that yet. It kind of depends on how the testing goes. So there may be one on the show here by the next episode. We'll see if that comes to fruition, but might have one out on the show. We can maybe do a little bit of demonstration and see what you guys think of it. But yeah, it's just some testing right now, but it's looking positive at the moment.
I have to post this for sure because I 100% agree with Mike on this one. I always use my electrical cleaner for cleaning my tires, especially the releasing agents from the mold. I find that the electronics cleaner is the perfect combo, and
Yep.
it will definitely make sure that you have the proper bond. And the new CowRC glue for tires has been money. We knock on wood, since we switched to the 1-2 combo using the electrical cleaner with the new CowRC glue, we haven't had any tires coming off, and that is a must when you're running at such a high level of competition.
So yeah, so let's talk a little bit about so now that you've got your concoction mixed up of part and chassis wash, let's show you the do's and don'ts of what to use this for and what not to use this for. So I always like to go through the don'ts first. And the don't is this is not electronic safe.
Oh, I
So
was going to say don't drink it. Don't
well,
drink
that I have to get you more help for that if you do that. But
it.
yes,
Yeah.
don't drink it. Just like every product that we sell, don't
Yeah,
drink it or eat it.
Scott, we're going to get back to you on that one, but that is a great question. I
Yeah,
know there
good
are
question.
some
Got an
new
answer for
people
that one.
joining us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rick, what's up, bud? But yeah, we'll get back to you. So,
Yeah.
going over some of the don'ts.
Yes. Not electronic safe. That's what our electronic cleaner and degreaser is for. But this is for your plastics, your bodies, your tires. This is to get the mud off of your big parts. So a majority of your parts. Now I'll tell you that we talked a little bit about the non-corrosiveness and pH balance of this and what that means. And honestly, I think it's before I became a team driver. I used the part and chassis wash. I used to soak my parts overnight, just put it in a cup and soak them overnight, greasy, dirty stuff, just small stuff when I disassemble a vehicle. And I used a auto parts um, a cleaner to do some of that. And it was actually Adam is pillow balls. So it was that zinc coated or I don't know what that silver coated pillow ball, and left it in there overnight, and it actually corroded the coating on it. It took the coating off in spots, and I was like, "Geez, this is kind of interesting." Because that was getting into the hobby was my go-to cleaner was this automotive cleaner, and so when I found CowRC, I did the same ritual, and I kind of just brushed it off as not a big deal to me at that time. Did the same ritual with the Moo-Kleen Part and Chassis wash, and no corrosion. So the same parts, did the same ritual, and no corrosion. And so that's when I understood that this is not just a fancy word. It's not just a tagline. It actually is different. And again, nothing wrong with the automotive parts for automotive uses. That is not an RC equivalent. And that's what CowRC's existence is based on is taking those full-blown one-to-one type of cleaners and making them RC specific so they're not harming your RC cars. So,
Oh, go
oh,
ahead. Keep going.
yeah, okay.
No, yeah, John's going, but I'll bring it back up. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So, anyway, so again, don't use it on your electronics. That's what we have the electronic cleaner and degreaser for. So, when you spray it on, let it sit for 2 to 4 minutes. Let the chemicals work. Let the chemicals agitate all that dirt and get that stuff loose. And there's a couple different ways that you can remove that after that 2 to 4 minutes. So the part that we recommend, CowRC recommends, is using a compressed air situation, like the jet blaster, or if you have a home air compressor, that works just as well too. And what we're trying to do there is you don't want the chemical to just sit on your parts. So it will be a good component to sit on your tires. That actually will work well because it makes them sticky. And
Oh,
Adam, I'm sure, can
you're
attest to that.
you're gonna see side by side comparison. I'm actually doing it while he's talking, and
Good.
I'm gonna throw it back on there. You're gonna see no script here.
So I like it, and so the compressor. So you want to get the chemical off. The tires is an exception. You actually want to let it sit on the tires and let it just kind of soak, and it becomes a tacky, sticky residue after you're finished, which is great. But for the rest of the car, you want to get it off for the most part. Like I said, it doesn't need to be like dry, but you don't want it to puddle and sit there. It'll just kind of accumulate. So
Yep.
what I like to do a little bit differently is I do like to use water. There's nothing wrong with using water. But when you use water comes a couple extra steps. So when you use water, like I prefer for some, and I'm talking for like very muddy vehicles. And
Okay.
I take just a toothbrush. When it comes a muddy vehicle and you have like parts and nooks and crannies, even like tires. I mean, just taking a tire and doing this and getting all the dirt out of the treads, that's helpful too. And so if you get really, really muddy and it's caked in there, using a hose outside. Nothing wrong with that. But when you do use water, that comes with water sitting on your vehicle. So you have to go through the extra steps of getting that water out, using a Moo-Kleen Cleaner and Degreaser to get the water to evaporate, extra drying, re-lubricating. So I don't mind doing that because that's just kind of part of my cleaning ritual. But if you're in a bind for time, you don't have those additional lubricating products and water evaporators, then just blow dry this stuff off with some compressed air.
So, Derek, yes, for drag racing tires, I always make sure after my pass that I clean it with the parts and chassis wash first. And I actually let it dry on the tire because, like you said, it is good to allow it to dry on your tires, but not on other components. But for the tires, I do let it dry. And once it's dry, then I go through and I kind of just inspect the tire, make sure that it's not coming unglued. Because for drag racing, that would be catastrophic. And after I make sure that my tire is good to go, I put my tire dope on of choice, whatever you're rocking in your area. But we like to have some sticky kicks or whatever you're running. And then I'll apply it right before. I usually put the heat bands on before my pass, get it up to temp, make sure that I get the proper. It's a weird science thing, but it's definitely good for the tires and in drag racing. I couldn't have been happier with the whole thing, and man, it definitely helped me be really consistent and work on other parts of my vehicle and not have to worry about the tire because the tire is one of the most important things. So if you have a
Yeah,
good program with your tire, everything else will fall into place.
that is true.
So I'm just going to switch my camera over here and I will show the difference. Like, this is crazy. And I didn't realize the difference in the smell. So, you guys seen while Tyler was talking, I'm hoping you can see the difference side
Yeah,
by side comparison. Like,
we can
it
see it.
is a brand spanking new
Yeah,
tire.
that's awesome.
And honestly, once this dries, it will be a performer. So you can see the difference. Like, these tires were caked in. Here, I'll take another one off because I know this camera is not as nice as the other one. So I will show you side by side, real time, just so you can see a comparison of what I did in just the short time that Tyler was talking. I will switch my camera back for you. But if you can
Oh
hear,
yeah.
I'm gonna remove you for a quick sec though. So you can see the difference is massive. And you've seen how easy it was to
Yeah.
do live right in front of you. And I'm telling you, like, I can already feel the tackiness starting to come. When you can get that tackiness, that's what you want, and keep the grip up. Does it work for outdoor tires as well? Yes, Johnny, for sure. Honestly, I started with the off road, and I knew going to the drag stuff that it was going to give me that sticky icky. I love
I'll
and
give you
enjoy.
a tip, Johnny. I think you had to have seen me use this before. So a cheap trick to do this for outdoor specific is what I use this for. Is I take an old food to go container, so like a plastic one, like a microwavable safe one with a lid, and I screwed a like a cleaning brush, like one of those brushes with like a handle on it that you'd find at the grocery store or Home Depot, and I cut the handle off of it, and I screwed that bristle brush to the bottom of the container. So basically, it was a container with a bristle brush screwed into it. And I'd fill it, full of Moo-Kleen Part Chassis wash, and take the tires and use that bristle brush. It was a bristle brush that is what I was wanting for, but I didn't want to lose all of the chemicals, so I could reuse it and reuse it. So just a tip for something you're gonna spend like $3 on.
Yes, no, Raymond, you're absolutely right. The J concept makes one that is exactly what Tyler just
Yep.
explained. It's just you can tell Tyler's a hobbyist, so he did it on his own on a budget. And there's nothing wrong with that, because to make what he's talking about, you can get that at any, like, I know we have Home Depot, we have Canadian Tire, but you guys have
Lowe's.
Lowe's. There you
Lowe's
go.
is another one.
What's the cheap one that you guys have over there? Harbor Freight. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's like the RC hobbyist mecca. There's all kinds of good stuff there.
I definitely have to go and chime in too. My solid axle monster truck tires, they look brand new every time. And monster truck tires are no joke. That's
Yeah.
definitely true. Yeah, no, Johnny, I'm telling you, this guy's got tips for days. I love chatting with him, and you guys actually help make the show move along with all the questions, and those are awesome questions, truly. And that's what me and Tyler love seeing, is the questions in the comments. But Tyler, you were going through some of the more do's now with the parts and chassis wash.
So you said, yeah. So other dues. I mean, I think that was pretty much it for the dues. I think that kind of covered most of what we're looking for. Don't
Okay.
use it on electronics. Do use it
No.
for tires, bodies, and plastic. Everything else other than electronics, this thing is great for. I will give you another tip. So I'm big into periodically disassembling my vehicle and cleaning it, because there's only so much, when you have all the hinge pins and pillow balls, there's only so much you can get to. There's always hidden stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I learned this trick from Mike Panacchia, another CowRC driver, is buy a ultrasonic cleaner. And what it is, again, you find it on Amazon. It's like a $14, maybe $20 item to clean jewelry, is what this is actually for. And it's about that big, size of a football, small football, call it size of a mini small football. And so what it does is it agitates anything you put in it to just kind of get the cleaning. I don't exactly know how it works, but anyway, all I know is I put this Moo-Kleen Part Chassis wash in it, and I put the parts in it, plug it in, and I walk away for 5 minutes, and they come out really, really nice. So
And
it's great for small parts.
yeah, it's good vibrations for sure, Raymond. But like John Blakely at O Town, God bless him, has one that you can almost sink your entire 8 scale buggy in there. It
Oh,
won't fit a
wow.
truggy, but it'll fit a buggy.
I've
And
never seen
the
that
way
big.
that he cleans, he
Ah,
basically takes the front clip off, the rear clip off, and just throws them in. And then all he has to do is just clean the center where all the electronics are, because you don't want to
wow.
put your electronics in with the parts and chassis wash. That is so important.
Right.
Even if it's waterproof, I probably wouldn't recommend putting it
Yeah.
into a sonic cleaner with this stuff.
Right.
But the sonic cleaner is, oh my God, such a godsend. Some of the stuff that you don't think will come off truly agitates off
Mhm.
in a sonic cleaner.
Oh
Gives
yeah.
it that new car smell again.
It's actually pretty cool. I'm like really big in. I think it makes me happy when I can do something. I put it into a container and I walk away and I come back and it does it for me. That to me is like, it makes me happy.
It doesn't get much easier than that, eh? That's always good. But another thing that I enjoy using the parts in chassis wash for is when we are actually at an event, you will see the dust. We had a little issue with dust control, and I actually have used it on my windshield now. Just a little spritz here and there, just wipe it off on the rag. And you know what? It gives you that nice sheen, and you're good for days because the windshield washer with the fluids and all that stuff, I was actually getting mud built up. So I was trying to just wipe it away using that. Awesome. I know it's a bigger vehicle, but it definitely came into play in a pinch. It would have been that or dumping my bottles of water that I was trying to
Right.
drink, getting home and stuff like that. But you know what? It's only when it's in dusty conditions. This weekend we didn't have to worry about that since we were rained out. I know Beat the Creek was kind of a little deep, I would say, with the rain coming in today. But it looks like they had a great turnout. We also have a huge race in Vegas right now, which is pretty spectacular. Beat the Creek. How many people were there?
The count hasn't been official yet, but I say it's probably around 1,500. I mean, so like, and I know this isn't a scientific way of counting, but I was there about 3 hours on Saturday after the gates opened, and my bracelet was 2,047. And
Geez.
I know that's probably not like the exact, but I'm thinking it was around 1,500. I'd say it was probably a record breaking time or amount of event. There was like 45 different vendors there, so all the big names, were there. Tons of people, on-site camping. It was a great Saturday. Today, unfortunately, I got there and it was raining. I hung out for a little while, see if it'd break, and it wasn't breaking. So I headed back so I could get ready for the show. But a lot of people stuck it out, and I'm sure had a really good time because who doesn't like playing? And I mean, it's called Beat the Creek for a reason. Mud and water, that's your friend, and that's why CowRC is here. So I'm hoping a lot of those people are watching this show, or they're going to watch the rerun of the show and invest in some products to clean their vehicles and don't put them away dirty and wet, please. I beg
Yes.
you.
Oh, you gotta put in the work. If you give your vehicles a little bit of love, they'll love you back. But it was pretty cool to hear that. So epic numbers out at Beat the Creek. There was also record-breaking numbers at the Silver State race, and they had over 1,100 entries,
Wow.
which is just bonkers. They are still racing as our show is going on. I know Johnny was watching it all weekend long. But wow, what a race to go and see. I know it's on my bucket list, and I can't wait to show up and be able to actually demonstrate all the CowRC goodness in a place like that. Now, I know you got to demonstrate some of the stuff at Beat the Creek, correct?
A little bit. Didn't have as much time with losing a whole day, but just a little bit. Not as much as I wanted to, unfortunately.
Right, right. That's kind of sad. Now I know John Blakely has a big event coming up next weekend, but his big event for the entire year has got to be the Nitro Blast, one of the
Oh,
biggest
nice.
races in all of Canada. And I know he mentioned it earlier in the comments. How do we get CowRC to sponsor? Well, John, all you got to do is just reach out to me. I might know a guy or two. And you know what? I've been to your event, John. You put on one hell of a show, and I'm sure Heath would be happy to give back to the community. And you know what? I think it's for a great track, a great family, and you put on a fantastic show. So I will do what I can to try and get you some cow love spread your way. I use the chassis watch
Ah,
mix in a
thank
clear
you,
spray bottle.
Zach. Thank you. I forgot that. That's awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to show up very good, but yeah, this one, it does. Okay, so see how this one is more yellow than this one. So this is more green. This is what it is supposed to look like. This is a little bit more yellow. So to answer your question, Zach, is it has zero effect on the performance of the product. What this is doing is ultraviolet rays don't like green. So they turn it clear or a yellow. So the longer you leave this out in the sun, the more not green it will become. So it'll go to a light green, to a
Yeah.
yellow, to a light yellow, and it probably will eventually go to a relatively clear, cloudy color. So it's the sun that's doing it. So you
Almost
leave,
white. Yeah.
yeah, so you leave. So unfortunately for guys like Adam and Johnny and anybody else doing outdoor racing, you get distracted. You leave your bottle out on the pit table and you go do a heat, and then 5 hours, 10 hours
Yeah.
later, that bottle is still sitting out there. I've seen some bottles get really light yellow. So the great thing is it has zero effect on the performance of the product. It is a visual um, only thing. That is it. It's simply just it's science. It's UV lights don't like green, and they tarnish them out.
Zach, that was a fantastic question.
Yeah.
It even got me the first time. I was crushed to come back and see my beautiful setup all just fading and fade. I was like, what the heck is going on? But that
Right.
is pretty sick.
Well, you don't
Uh,
even notice it. Like it's like you don't really notice it like until you get home, maybe a couple of days later, and you're like, oh, why is my
side by
part
side.
chassis wash this color? It wasn't this color the
Yeah.
other day, and no, and it really doesn't hit you that it's the sun that's doing it, and that's simply it. It's the sun.
No, that is pretty sick. My mix is nearly white, cloudy, and still wears
Yep.
gray. Thanks for the confirmation. Yeah, no, it's happened to us all,
Yep.
unfortunately. And now we actually have an easy up canopy. We try and keep it in the shade now. Oh my god, it was like hilarious the first time it actually happened. So Johnny, the question about the electronics cleaner. I run high-end ESC motor. And I'm very leery about spraying anything on it. Does it really hurt the electronics? Well, here, I can definitely tell you that you know what? I think I still have it packed. Let me see here. Yeah,
I'll give you my answer, Johnny, is point the nozzle at it and let it rip because
I do the
it
same thing.
I mean, honestly, I just give it all. I don't hold back. That electronic cleaner and degreaser will not hurt your electronics. I just bathe all of my stuff, all my electronics in it, and just spray it down. And I use the pressure of the nozzle to get rid of that dirt. It's don't worry about that at all.
Here, let's see. Do I have the right camera? No, I do not. I'm gonna switch over to this. Here, we'll give you a little demo. So this is my Moo-Kleen. This is my brand new Moo-Kleen RX8 combo and electronics. And there you go. Proof is in the
Yep.
pudding. This will come out amazingly clean. And normally I'll even hit it with the Cow Blaster, which I still have packed up. We literally just rolled in. So you can already see how clean this portion of the car is compared to the other half. And I didn't even try and agitate it or anything. Beautiful product, one of my favorites, especially for racing, gluing tires, keeping everything mint. Having the kids, they don't like to stay in the groove as much. So when they're full send and getting in all the muddy spots, I know I can clean with confidence. And literally, the proof is in the pudding. Well, Johnny, I knew I liked you, but now I like you even more. But yeah, nothing wrong with spraying it right onto the Teak electronics. Now, the one thing that I will warn you is if you do have the fan on top of your RX8, I just hit it with a little bit of the Moo-Slick, which we will still soon have a brand new product that I saw Grant was asking about earlier, or sorry, Jason Grant. and it's specifically designed for bearings. So I can't
Yeah.
wait to get my hands on that, because you do want to make sure that if you have any bearings and you spray the electronics cleaner on any bearings or anything like that, you want to give it that extra bit of coating as well, just to protect it.
And I do
So
have on the Moo-Kleen Part Chassis wash. I just put a post on the CowRC fans page of the process of the steps that I just went through. So if you want a Cliff's Notes version of what Adam and I just did, go to the CowRC fans page. It's the pinned post. It should be the post right at the top. I got pictures exactly. Actually, it's the exact same stuff I just showed you. So you can reference that for the future.
yeah, and honestly, with his help, this came out amazing. You guys already seen how quick and easy it was to wash the tire. And you know what? We're going to go through, we got a whole table behind this here of all the tires that we tested today, because when you're running in mud, finding that sweet spot is going to be tricky. Now, here's something that I tried that I never thought in a million years I would do. I actually put Moo-Slick on my tires before I went out and ran. Here's the thing. It was slippery. I don't know
Shocking.
why. Shocking. But it did prevent my tires from caking. It did prevent my tires from picking up the wood chips. And when I finally got a few laps in, I was able to run consistent lines, where everybody else, once they picked up all the mud, they basically had slicks.
Hmm.
So it worked
Interesting.
way better than I thought. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to do a little bit more of a practice run, just to make sure I get all of the silicone slipperiness off, but I
Ah,
still wanted it on the tire to prevent the dirt from sticking. So just another awesome option with using the Moo-Slick that I just kind of experimented with a smidgen
interesting.
today. It was cool.
I've
I
never
heard
done that.
people. No, well, the thing is, I overheard people talking about spraying WD on their
Mhm.
tires, and I'm all like, well, I don't have any WD on me, but I do have some Moo-Slick, and obviously we were using it to keep everything clean. I'm like, you know what? It's worth a shot. I got
Yeah.
nothing to lose at this point. And like I said, a couple laps in, it was money. Qualified straight into the A sort. I didn't have anything for the top guys, because unfortunately they were cutting treads. They were doing stuff with their tires. They were like on a bigger budget than Ross Racing currently, and it paid off. I got to say, being experimental with the Moo-Slick. So I used what I could.
That's awesome.
Use sticky kicks for the same application. I, I heard about sticky kicks. I heard that they might have like a dirt one or something like that. Uh, I'm more interested in trialing the Moo-Slick in a controlled environment, because, dude, I'm telling you, it was last minute. I overheard somebody. I went to the can that I knew would work, and I gave it a shot, and it did pay off. Making the A main for me is definitely a big step, because I am not an A main guy. So I was super happy with
That's
that. But
awesome.
there was a lot of people struggling because of the weather, though. So it
Oh,
was
yeah.
definitely anybody's game. Thankfully, it's an 8-race series for points, so it's going to be a good points day for me. Not so good for other people.
Oh, and everybody, don't forget our Cow Tech code, Cow-Tech, to get 10% off of your purchase. So if you're intrigued by the Moo-Kleen Part Chassis wash and any other products that we have talked about or have not talked about there on the website, go there. It's good for 10% off the entire website. No restrictions.
So I'm going to bring up a couple of these things. I don't know. Let me see. Add to the stream. So this is the concentrate here, and basically this has replaced the original stuff that was on the CowRC website. This right here is a way better picture, and this is the actual original, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, 1 gallon Moo-Kleen. And it's just to show you a comparison. So just think, this makes 5 of those in a
Right.
concentrate, easy to ship,
Yeah.
way better for everybody. because let's face it, the shipping has gone
Water is
ridiculous.
essentially free. Why pay to ship it?
This right here is awesome and is great for getting in there and for traveling. You can put it in smaller bins and stuff like that. Definitely a cool addition to the Moo-Kleen, and that is uh, the new electronic one that they're going to be trialing. And I'm actually looking forward to hearing how that goes because I believe you're going to be getting one of those soon to test.
Yes, hopefully we'll have it before. I mean, I've got some dirty trucks, so I may postpone cleaning some of those and let them sit a little bit to get that and give it a good testing. So I think it'll be awesome. I think that'll be a nice optional upgrade to try some different options in the RC industry.
So we were lucky enough to give away 25 viewers.
Yeah.
That bonus was epic today. I got to thank you guys. But we do have one other thing to give away. And I got to bring it up. I actually started. This was by far the best question of the day. It's gotten a lot of people.
Yeah.
And Zach, I gotta say, what do you think, Tyler? You think that one's the one or
Well,
what?
I think Zach helped me do my job because I had that one all lined up and forgot all about it. And honestly, it's a very important topic because we don't want people to be upset with their product and think that something's going wrong. And it's a normal it's a normal way of science. And thank you, Zach, for bringing it up because I guarantee everybody has had that issue at some point in time, especially even if you don't like race outside. And I mean, you normally are going to use this stuff outside, and it's
Yes.
normally a sunny day, so it honestly it's kind of going to happen. So yeah, Zach, yeah, I'd say he's got it.
All right. So what does Zach get then?
He gets a 32-ounce concentrate container of Moo-Kleen Part Chassis wash valued at $49.99. So an awesome gift to you. And thank you so much, Zach, for keeping us straight and helping out the show.
Oh my God, Jason, dude, that is a great question. And I would have to say that it might, depending on if you have hard or soft water, but I would actually have to find that one out,
Yeah.
unless Tyler knows, because
I
I
don't
don't.
know. I have city water, so I don't know about the well water difference. Obviously, if you wanted to use a filtered water system or a bottled water system like Adam was using, just to be safe, please do. But yeah, I'm not aware of the well water system.
Yeah, no, congrats, man. Hey, Zach, honestly, I can't believe I forgot about saying that because it's happened to me. Tyler's even got the
Yeah,
demo going there. Like, oh my God, dude, it was like perfect timing. It was like
yes.
the best segue into what was going. So let's see. Yes, when using concentrate to remain pH balanced, we recommend using. See, right from
There you go.
the man's mouth. Thank you, Heath, for chiming into that because that stumped both of us. I did
Right.
not know
Makes
that.
sense.
So yes, obviously you want to make sure you're mixing it with the good stuff. All
One
right.
thing, Adam, I did see a question I that came up about like a starter pack. I think someone had a
Oh,
question about that. I don't know if you have any
absolutely.
graphics about that, but to answer that person's question is yes. So there are starter packs on the CowRC website, and there's I want to say 4 different starter packs. They go anywhere between a small bottle of part and chassis wash, I think a small jar of udder butter, and some sample packs of the hide wipes, which are pre moistened towelettes. And then it goes all the way up to jet blasters and magnetics. So there's lots of different stuff that you can get into. So check that out at cowrc.com, and then you save yourself 10% using the cow tech code at checkout. Oh, thank you, Adam. Perfect.
Yeah, so here is a nice sample pack. You get the magnetics, you get the udder butter, you get the parts and chassis wash, and one that we didn't really talk about today but kept my hands clean for the show was the hide wipes. So that is a really good one to kind of get your feet wet, especially if you're new to the CowRC products. And don't forget to use our code. Using our code saves you the additional 10% off and lets me and Tyler know that you guys are actually paying attention.
Absolutely. Yeah, great question.
Yes, no, honestly, Otter Butter has saved me multiple times. Are we going to be able to pre-order the oil spray, or is it just going to be a free-for-all once they go live on the site? Well, I know that Heath is watching. He would be the one to answer
Yeah.
that question, but I definitely can't wait to get my hands on it. He can take my money today, so whatever he wants to do with that, man, Heath, you got my address, buddy. What's it going to be for everybody else? Because I know I'm jonesing for this. I definitely can't wait to try the new sprays for sure. But we'll see. It's your cast didn't want to tag him directly. Yeah, no, for sure. But it's going to be a free for all. It hits the shelves in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 tops.
Nice.
I know he's doing all he can to get the good stuff in. And you know what? He is definitely a saint with all these logistical nightmares and shipping food pods. I'm going through it for myself with different items. And you know what? He always gets stuff out in such a timely manner. I got to love him for that. And you know what? Anytime you get a CowRC.com order, yeah, he ships it out. He gets it out there to you as efficiently as he possibly can. But we got to plug the tag again. 10% off down in the code. Use it at CowRC.com. It is cow/tech. And me and Tyler would really appreciate it. So 3 minutes, Tyler. You got anything you want to say before we check out of here?
So we're gonna play again. What's in the box here on the next episode. So what this is the next version of the CowRC Mousepad. This is going to be the small Mousepad. So we talked a lot about, Adam's got one on his table where his car's resting, and this is the smaller version of it. So I think we've probably shown some graphics of it on previous episodes of the small one. Well, this is going to be another unboxing. So Adam and I will unbox those. Should be next episode, which will be episode 6 here in 2 more weeks. So just another teaser and another product that CowRC is going to be releasing soon.
And honestly, I can't wait. I'll pick mine up on Monday. And the hard part is going to be letting the box sit on the bench. That's going to be the tricky part. But I got to thank you, the viewers. You made this show fly by. I can't believe it's already been an hour. We've reached a target. We got to our 25. And thanks to you guys. I'm dying to geek out over all the stats because the questions and comments kept flowing. I apologize if I didn't get yours up. We will work on that. And hopefully next show, we're going to have a little something special as well, running on Instagram. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. So we're going to try and do Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I think that will be a nice trifecta. And I'm looking forward to bringing it to you 3 separate ways.
And Zach, if for winning the contest, if you could please message me on Facebook, I can get your address from you, and we'll get your concentrate sent out to you right away.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the question. It was perfect timing. It just kind of flowed with the show. And yeah, no worries there. Until next time, this is episode number 5. It's a wrap, man. Virtual high five. There we go. All right, man. I appreciate you being on board with me, and you
Same
guys
here.
have been awesome. We will definitely see you guys on the next show. Stay tuned for the link, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye everybody. Thanks again.